Hello and a very warm welcome to Piano Shack with me, Woody. Thank you ever so much for tuning in. So Native Instruments just released their new software synthesizer called Super 8, which we have on the screen here. It's a quirky, fun little retro synthesizer. It's so easy to program actually that even I can do it. But that's not going to be the focus of today's video. I think Native Instruments themselves and many other guys have done walkthroughs of the architecture. So what we're going to do today is try and put together a track using nothing else than Super 8. I'm going to use Ableton here. I've got a few tracks lined up and ready to go. Let's see if we can put together a song today, or at least a sketch for the beginnings of a song. I'm not really sure how far we'll get. Let's start and find out. This video is sponsored by you. Please visit my Patreon to add your name to this list of awesome people. Thank you so much for your support. The synthesizer is on the screen here. Native Instruments released this yesterday, and they very kindly sent me a review copy so that I could check it out, but I did miss the deadline for the release. So today we're going to push something out instead. So here is the synthesizer in all its glory. I'll take you on a very quick tour of the architecture a little bit later on. But right for now, I'm just going to use some of the presets that are quite inspiring just to build together a track. And we'll do something in the 80s synthwave genre because that's what I do best. And I think this synthesizer works very well for that. So I'm just going to see what we've got. Yep, we've got a sound fired up here. I'm just going to make sure my controller is controlling the synth parameters, which it is now. I've got a rough idea for a riff in mind, and I've also programmed a few tracks here already in Ableton. I've got a riff, bass, pad, lead, and some drums. We'll just use an Ableton drum rack here with some nice samples of the TR-707 from Roland. But let's start off with the main riff. And I'm going to record directly into the, what do they call this? The session view here in Ableton. I've got an idea for the riff I want to play. It's going to be something like this. In the key of C. Something along those lines. I'm not quite sure if I should play... I should play that A or a G. I think I'll go for the G. Let's bash that in here to Ableton then. I'm going to use this slot down here. I'm going to leave a few slots above it for an intro perhaps. Yeah, maybe a verse or something, but I'm going to put the main riff in here. We'll start with the main riff, then I'll add the bass line, some pads and so on. This is how I normally work. Start with an idea for a riff and then build it from there. So let's see if I can get something going. Haven't used Ableton for a long time, so I'm a bit rusty on all the shortcuts. Let's see what happens. I got the metronome on, let's go. I blundered the end of that loop right away. Maybe it'll work out, I don't know. I've got some input quantization as well. Let's put on my eyes so I can actually see what I'm doing. Not that it helps much, but anyway. So yeah, let's adjust the length of that loop. I played a few notes wrong there. Let's see what it sounds like towards the end. Okay, that's not what I had in mind, but that actually sounds quite okay. So we'll live with that. Maybe I will legato all of these notes. They are quantized as they are recorded to eighths, but not the note ends. Yeah, that'll be okay. Let's move on to the drums, I think, so we don't need to have the annoying metronome too much more. So I've just got a There we go, a drum rack with a 707. If I change over here, there we go. I'm also just going to turn down the filter. There we go. Really appreciating the hands-on controls for the instruments there. The synthesizer. So, should we do a 4 to the floor thing? Yeah, why not? I think that'll be okay. And then I'll add some hi-hats a bit later. Here we go. This is the most irritating thing with Ableton, is actually stopping the loops when you want to stop it. I never seem to get it right. It was working last time I did this. So we'll have to adjust the loop length. I pressed that shortcut, the enter key, which is supposed to stop the loop at the right point, but it didn't. Now I need to just figure out how to overdub a hi-hat. I'm just going to take a copy of that one, put it there. Take another copy, put it there. I'm going to build up the song here on these different, I can't remember what they're called in Ableton, these different lanes anyway. If the name comes to me, I'll let you know. This one I'm just going to edit. This one here I'm just going to edit and remove the snare, which I have down here. That's why I was a bit confused. That one we'll just remove all of those like so. So on this slot, there we go. So I'm going to overdub now, if I can remember how to do it, some hats. And some, let's do some rim shots as well. Let's do the rim shots first. Let's see. What's the method for doing that? Nope. How do I overdub record? That'll do for the drums. A bit of a sketchy rhythm, but doesn't really matter. Let's move on to the bass line, why don't we? If I fire up the instance of Super 8, you can see what we're using here. And let's arm that track. That's a great bass. Okay, that's cool. I'm just going to save that busy version of the drums for a little bit later, and we'll use these ones for now. And let's prepare that slot. Now, let's have a little rehearsal what to play. Now, for the synthwave genre, it's very common to have just a eighth notes on the bass. I'm going to do something a bit more interesting, perhaps. Not much more interesting, but a little bit more interesting. Something like that. record that, then I'll explain what these chords are if you're curious. So let's see if I can punch in and out correctly this time. Here we go. Super annoying. Or did it stop at the right time? Maybe it did. Let's take a listen. I think there were some fluffed notes there. Let's solo this, have a listen. No, I got it. Okay, I got it. What I'm trying to do right now is select all the notes and make them legato, except I don't see the menu there anymore. There we go. Make those legato. So by making them legato, I've smoothed them out. So that means that basically one note stops as soon as the other one starts. You can see that here on the display. And then what we can do then to get the right sort of punch and crispness that we want, I'm going to go into the synth here. And we'll just edit the... You see what I mean? We can edit the envelope. That's perfect. And I can adjust the filter here as well, which we could do a bit later if we want to add some interesting automation to the track. So I think that's the bass line done. Let's take a listen to that together with the riff, which I'm not hearing because I've soloed this one. We can take away the arm there as well. Here we go. Yeah, that's good. I like the sound of that. Now, I will promise, as I promised, I will show you the chords I'm playing here in this song. And I'll fire up a pad sound to do that. Okay, so the chords then. Okay, I can't play too sophisticated chords here. Let's pull up the synthesizer as well so we can take a look. This is an 8-voice polyphonic synthesizer, like the Jupiter 8, I guess. They're taking a bit of inspiration from. But you can see we have unison switched on here with 2 voices. So that means it's actually playing 2 voices per note, giving me a total polyphony of 4. So I can't play these 5-note chords like I was trying to do. So let's dumb it down a little bit. So the first chord is a C major 7th with an added 9. That's the 9 there. Then we have an E minor 7. Actually, it's even more complicated than that. We have a... What would that be? That's an 11th. The riff is playing like an 11th sound. C major 11th. E minor 7th, 9th, 11th or something. I don't really know. I'm just playing from the seat of my pants like I always do. And then we finish off with a G major 7th chord with an added 13th or something now. You might think, why do I need to learn all these jazzy chords with all the 7ths, 11ths, 13ths and all that nonsense? I don't play jazz, but you do hear these sounds in pop, 80s music, especially all the time. Really nice. Okay, let's see if we can lay down some pads then. There's the example of the filter here. Very nice. Play. Okay, I think I'm good to go. Let's just improvise something here to the pads. I might record a slightly longer loop here. I was doing 8 bars for the other clips that we just recorded. I'm going to do maybe 16 bars here just to add a bit more variety to this track. Okay, here we go. I just want to have my counting as well, so I'll enable the metronome. I really love that pad sound. Let's take a listen to a bit of automation. Sorry about the metronome. Okay, you get the general idea. As promised then, why don't I give you a quick tour of this synthesizer? I'm going to close this instance. What we're going to look for now is a lead sound. I think I did prepare something, but it was just I don't really want to just riff around with this. I could do something like this, just jam along to this. Let's go for the more advanced drums. Move it over to this slot right now. Here we go. The idea. You could just mess around with the pentatonic scale all day long, which is kind of nice. I wasn't really liking these drums too much, actually. Let's just kill everything. Just take a listen to the drums. It'll do for now. So yeah, everything. The drums is just being sent to a reverb track over here. I'm also doing the same for some of these Super 8 sounds as well, not the bass line. But the other ones, I'm just adding a touch of the reverb, and I'm just using the basic Ableton built-in reverb here, which is perfectly adequate for this kind of thing. So yeah, let's go back to our lead sounds then. And that was kind of just a square wave. Yeah, why don't we take this opportunity to talk you through some of the parameters then on this synthesizer, what you can do with it. It's a pretty basic setup. I even understand it myself, which is not the case for many of the more complicated synthesizers, but I love this one. I like to keep it simple. So we have 2 oscillators, the orange ones and the blue ones here. And then for each oscillator, let's wind that one down. You can mix in sine wave, triangle, square, another square. You can make that square noise as well. So you can mix these together as you like. And then you can also, let's just do a triangle or a sine wave, what are these called? Sawtooth wave for now. You can actually adjust the shape of it from a triangle wave to a sawtooth. That's almost a super saw up there, isn't it? And then we have a second oscillator over here with similar controls. This is, you can pulse wave modulate that as well. We can adjust let's make it and the mix between them as well, of course. Oh, there's a sub coming in there I can hear as well. Yeah, that fourth one there is a sub bass, so that's pretty cool. Your traditional amp envelope down here as well. Maybe we can morph this into something that sounds a little bit like, what's it called? Soundtrack. Okay, moving over to the filter section, we have a very simple single filter here. You can choose different characters. I think this is actually doing some overdrive to the sound, which sounds really nice. These are mapped to my, if I press the right button, bit of resonance. Very nice. Yeah. Okay, moving down below, we have some modulation stuff, which I won't dig into today. It's the pretty standard stuff, I do believe. We have some nice effects down on the bottom as well. There's a reverb, which we can switch, or we can switch the entire reverb section on and off, the entire effects section on and off. But we have a reverb here, which is kind of nice. I am sending a little bit of reverb here to Ableton as well, just to send. And over here we have another effects section where I can choose between chorus, flanger, or a delay as well. So that's pretty much it. I like the fact that everything is visible to you here on this GUI on the front panel. There's no need to dive into any menus. What you see here is really what you get, and I do like the simplicity of it a lot. And I think it sounds really nice as well. As I'll show you now, there's also some really nice presets as well that are programmed in that I'm going to use right now. I want to find a nice lead sound I can do like a hook or a little lead riff or something on. Let's see, if I go to maybe some mallets. Oh, there weren't many of those. I want something that really cuts through as well. Maybe. Maybe that would work, actually. Yeah. So that just goes to show how simple it is to tweak the sounds there. I like what we got there, so let's use that one right now. And we need to figure out what to play. Let's just mute the drums for now. See if we can find something that fits in nicely here. I think I need to increase the volume of that one. Let's have another rehearsal. If I remember how to play that, because that was just totally improvised. Let's see if I can record that down. Maybe we'll play a 16-bar thing to make it a bit more interesting as well. So here we go. Put my metronome on. digging that. That's pretty good. Let's just stick with that. I've just got, yeah, we've gone through it. 4 tracks plus drums. Now I'm going to mess around with the arrangement here in the session view just to sort of build up the track in an interesting way. We could maybe start off with just the, whoops. I'm just going to duplicate this one by dragging it over there. So we could start off with a... What we could do, which would be nice, would be to do a little bit of side chain ducking here so we get the pad to pump in time with the drums, but we'll do that in a separate video. If this track is worth continuing with, I'm not quite sure. So I'm just going to move that one over there. I should really be doing a bit of housekeeping and labeling these, but I can't be bothered. Let's do a pad there. We'll bring in the bass and we'll keep the same drums. Then I'm going to move on to the full drums, perhaps. What's this drums? I don't remember. Bear with me. I thought we had a... There we go, that's the one I want. Move that one there, and I'm going to not introduce the riff just yet, or the lead. Let's see. Where's our main... That's the main one, so let's move that one up there. Here I'm going to bring pretty much everything in apart from the lead, so we'll get the bass to go there as well. Let's move that one down, move that one down, and then I'll just bring all 3 of these down if I've done my shortcuts right. There we go. And then maybe we could have, yeah, that'll do for now. I mean, this is just a sketch of a song. Obviously, I will need to work a lot on the instrumentation a little bit, do some automation of all the different tracks, and bring this over to the arrangement view as well. See, there's already some stuff over there which I wasn't expecting. To do work on the transitions, the build-ups and that kind of thing. But let's see basically what we've got right now then. And I'll use the synthesizer parameters and I'll control them from the keyboard here to do some interesting stuff. If I can figure out how to do that, let's have a go. Let's see what happens. Quite what I expected there. Let's see if it works. Okay, it's okay. Let's bring in the main riff. I'll select that track so I can control it with the interface. Here we go. The claps, where are they? not too shabby. That's not too bad. Okay, so we were able to throw something together. I don't know how long we've been going on for, maybe 30 minutes or so. I'll check when I edit the video and upload it later on today. I hope you enjoyed it. This is just the sketch of a track. If you want me to, we can continue this in a separate video, put this over to the arrangement view, polish it, add some automation lanes to make it a lot more interesting. But yeah, I think it's a pretty good start anyway, and I'm loving the sounds of System 8. It's quite inspiring, and we got some work done quite quickly there, I'm sure you'll agree. So, thank you ever so much for watching this video. Thank you to all of my channel sponsors. Thanks for liking, subscribing, sharing it, and commenting. And I will see you again soon.